Hi, pretty people. I opened a community. I don't know if you guys saw that. I made a quiz. I don't know if that's how you call it. I don't remember what's the word in English for that. I asked you, like, what do you wanted to see in my next video? I made like a comment saying that the one that I was the most excited about was me talking about why I don't live with my family. So since there's no votes in any of the categories, I guess one could say it's like a draw. So I'm gonna pick the one I like the most. Okay, so why don't I live with my family? I used to back in Colombia, and my dad decided he wanted to get the green card, so he started the process, and he did that with his immediate family, right? His wife. He wasn't married to to her, but she married her in to make the process smoother because he had lawyers helping him in the process. Then they get married. Then he also added his daughter with her, his son with another woman, my brother, and me. My brother and me, we have the same mom. My other brother has a different mother. Then there's our sister. Well, this will be half brother, this will be half sister. So she has her mother, which is my dad's wife. Yeah, so the process went on for like about 5 years until we got our yes. And my brother, he couldn't make it because he turned 21 before we got accepted for a green card. So yeah, he couldn't make it. They came here first. My dad, his wife, my half sister, and my half brother. They came here like on February, and they started, making their lives. I didn't came immediately because I was in university. I was studying system engineering. I haven't finished the career, but I was just like finished with the semester. Once I started vacations, I came here on June 7, started living with them, but I've had some clashes with my dad's wife in the past. So I knew it was a tense situation going around with her. But yeah, I mean, she didn't bother me and I didn't bother her. However, there were some things that I did that she didn't like, and she just tried to ignore them. But then she just exploded and told me, like, you gotta get your shit together because it's my house. And I was like, okay, bro. I mean, it's understandable. She likes her things a certain way, so it's not like she was asking for something impossible. But still, I just really don't like the way she comes across. And I know she can come across less strong. She can try to calm down, breathe, and talk normally, but she just chooses not to, because sometimes she have been able to like talk to me, hey, I didn't like this, could you please? And those times I felt like, wow, this is great. I can literally count them with my hand. There was like only two times that she managed to stay calm. Other than that, every single time she gets angry, she just raises her voice and starts saying. When I first went to living with my dad, back when I was in Colombia, those situations weren't like big, but with time they got like worse and worse. But I mean, compared to where I was living before, it was way more manageable, right? And since I was already used to having that constant stress, for me, this lesser stress than when I was living before was better. So there's like a whole story that I'm trying to like paint you a picture so you understand. So when I came here, the things were like very tense and stuff. And so yeah, there was like my dad decided that me and my brother, even though he actually was not a problem, because when they were living together without me, they were fine, they were great. But when I came, then suddenly the problems started arriving. So I was the problem in the house because of who I am, because of how I behave, because of the story I have with his wife. And I don't know why they just got my brother and me together, because since he's also 21, my dad said, all right, I want you two gone in 3-4 months. So start looking for places to live, getting a job and stuff because you're both already 21. But as I'm telling you, he, my brother, was not the problem. Like, he had no problem living there, and he was already helping my dad and his wife paying the rent and stuff. So only because I was there, then he got like also a share of the load, which I personally thought it was unfair. Because if I'm the problem, they just kick me out. You don't have to also blame him, my half brother. But yeah, so my dad said out in 3-4 months. He wants nothing to do with the situation. And keep that in mind. He said he wants nothing to do with the situation. So he will not be getting in the middle of it. Keep that in mind. But then the next day he said, all right, you know how I told you I want you out in 3-4 months? But my wife, she's trying like to make a contract so that you guys can keep on living there, but with rules that can be legally pursued. That's not exactly what he said, but that's what I think he meant, because if she's making a legal contract, it's because she wants to legally manage things, all right? Like, if we don't contribute in the way it says in the paper, she has like if you don't do it, well, I'm gonna kick you out, because she has a contract, right? So that's what I thought. So over the few days, I started with my brother, also half brothers, to see a contract in the table that stated some things. I took pictures of it, but I can't show it to you. So I did my research with AI, of course with AI, but I like to make really specific prompts. So I told him, please use verified information, official information from experts, real, up to date, correct, and make sure to check the Constitution of Florida, of the United States, to keep that in mind when analyzing this contract, because I want to see what are the things that could potentially be harmful for me, what are the things that could not be so harmful, and what can I do about it. So he said, all right, this is bad, this and these are, and this is great. And so he basically told me, do not sign the contract right now, just try to converse with the other person. A few weeks passed by, and then she like sat us down and told us, all right, you can sign it or you cannot sign it. My brother, he did not sign it. Apparently he had talked to her, telling her, I always do what you say I do, my brother, to her, so I have no need of signing the contract. And she was like, you're right, because I've never had any problem with you, it's only with her that I've had the problem, so you're good if you don't want to sign the contract. Then she sat me down and she told me, I need you to sign the contract. So why are you signing it? And I told her, I swear to God, I told her, I can sign this contract because it's illegal. I don't know if you're allowed to sublease. I really don't know if that's the word, but she basically had a lease, well, not her, my dad, with the tenant, and all of the people inside were like in the contract, but I was not in the contract, so I was technically like illegally in that apartment, because they had to say, oh, we have a visitor, but apparently my dad did not do that. He knew I was coming on June 7. He bought the ticket. He had to say, I'm gonna have a visitor here from June 7 to God knows when. I don't know, like he could do something about it, but he didn't. So that's not on me. Now what's on me is the way I said that I was not gonna sign the contract. So back to that, I told her I can't because it's illegal. I don't know if you can sublease the leasing you had, and I need to know that you can sublease it. And she got mad. She stood up. She said, you are telling me that I'm faking a leasing? And she started saying that, and she just went on and on. And I told her, very calm, I told her, that's not what I said. And you know what she said? She completely ignored that I said that, and she said, that's what you're saying. And I was like, okay, but I'm not gonna even try to talk to you while you're just screaming and raising your voice and saying that you're gonna go to the... She told me, I'm gonna go to the management and I'm gonna tell them that you're here illegally because we didn't tell them that you were coming, and they're gonna kick you out. And I was like, Are you fucking out of your mind? Like, mind you, I had no reaction. I was calm. But in my mind, I was like, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Like, if you have me here without telling the administration that you have me here, and you go now and tell them that I'm here without you having told them, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna kick you out, bitch. Are you dumb? Are you out of your mind? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Right? And so I was like, not even looking at her, like, I don't need it though. She was just throwing a bunch of threats to me to make me sign, because I know every single thing she was saying, it was just to make me sign. She was like, if you don't sign it, then I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna tell them you're here, and they're gonna kick you out, and this and that. And she was just threatening me. She just wanted me to sign. All of that shit was just to make me sign. I know that. But I mean, I know how she gets. I just know I could have said it better, but I didn't. I said it the way I did it, and I told her I can sign it, it's legal. And she started saying that I said that she's making an illegal subleasing to make me look as if I was going to, I don't know, call the police on them. My dad, he wasn't home. He was working. When he came home, he was like, he entered our room because we were with the lights on, and he was like, why aren't you guys sleeping? And so, yeah, then he went to sleep. That's what my dad did. Mind you, he said he was not gonna get in that. He said it. He said, I don't want nothing to do with this situation anymore. So that's what he did. Even though she stormed and she called my dad, he didn't do anything about it because he said he didn't want nothing to do with it. Right? Right. So that's what happened. Then in the following days, I got a place to live, which is where I'm living now. I live here thanks to my job, the one I have on sales. So my bosses, even though I was new, they were very nice. They gave me 2 weeks for free here. So yeah, now I just have to work, make sales, and with those sales I can pay my rent here. So that's why I'm living alone. Now, this part that I'm gonna tell you is very important. When I was coming here, my dad bring me. We were at a restaurant that is like close to a Publix. Oh my god, like, this makes me so fucking mad. He was talking with my mom on the phone. I knew it was my mom because I quickly picked up that he could only be talking to my mom. Now, my dad had told me multiple times when we were here and even before, like, he didn't want my mom calling him because my mom gets like super crazy. He had explicitly told me, tell your mother not to call me because I don't want her calling me. I told my mother the situation, and she was like, I'm gonna talk to your dad. And I told her, Mom, my dad doesn't want you calling him. Do not call my dad. Please don't call my dad. Leave my dad alone. So when I was in the car on my way there, he was like, and you told your mother? And I was like, yeah. And I don't remember how, but I told him, yeah, tell my mother not to tell you anything. And he laughed. He didn't laugh because it was funny. No. He laughed because he thought I had told my mother not to call him because, I don't know, maybe I'm some kind of bad daughter. So I was like, I'm not even gonna explain him shit. He had told me to tell my mother not to call him. Then when I told my mother not to call him, he gets like, I don't need that woman to call me. Like, he was hurt at the fact that I had told my mother not to call him, knowing fucking well that he had told me to tell my mother not to call him. But yeah, we arrived at the place near to the Publix, and he was talking with my mother on the phone, and he was like, and she told you not to call me. And I was like, bitch, why are you telling my mother that I was the one with the idea of telling her not to call you when it was your fucking idea? Your fucking idea. He also told her, I don't know, because she made it seem like she was gonna call the police on me. Mind you, he said he wanted nothing to do with the situation. So the fact that he said that, us said that he was faking a leasing or making an illegal leasing like his wife was saying, means that he believed his wife. What his wife told him that I said, he believed it. But he had not had the thought to talk to me, because apparently he wanted nothing to do with the situation. But when his wife told him this is what happened, he believed her. even though he wanted nothing to do with it. He was not gonna talk to me or ask me what has happened, because if he had talked to me, I would have explained him. I would have told him that first of all, I was not gonna call the police on you. Second of all, the only thing I was looking for was for an arrangement that was beneficial for me and for you, because I was not gonna sign a contract that only had detrimental things to myself. Now, things in the contract weren't like bad stuff. It was only like, you have to clean, you have to do this and that, not getting home after such hours, but there were plenty of things that were shady. Apparently, in the contract said that me and my brother had to clean the room. In no way in the contract said that her daughter was gonna clean the room. And mind you, there are 2 rooms in the apartment. One in which she lives with my dad, and the other one in which lives my brother, me, and my sister. So there were 3 people living in that room, but only 2 of them had a contract saying that they had to clean it, which meant that if I decided to say, all right, yeah, I'm cleaning the room, he's cleaning the room, and what about her? She's also living in the room. She could legally say, well, she's not in the contract, she doesn't have to clean shit, and she could not clean it because she wasn't in the contract. So I was not gonna allow that. No, if you're gonna make a contract saying that I have to clean because I live there and my half brother has to clean because he lives there, then she also has to clean. Now I know he could argue with, that's not gonna happen, I'm not gonna let that happen. Yeah, like, I'm gonna believe you. I feel like I shouldn't be talking about this on the internet, but I'm gonna try not to cry because I really want to finish this story. So yeah, he was talking with my mom on the phone about that, this and that, and I realized that even though he said he wanted nothing to do with the situation, he had a lot to do with the situation. Then the first contracts that were made were like rip off. I thought she had ripped them off out of anger, but apparently it was my dad, because he was on the phone and he was like, no, I ripped that off because what if she got me? What if she got some pictures of those and called the police? Because that's illegal. My friend told me that it's illegal to sublease a listing unless the owner gave you permission to sublease. I really don't know if the word is subleasing, so if that's not the word, please forgive me. But yeah. Anyways, I love my dad. I can help it, guys. He's my dad. But that does not mean I'm okay with the way things unfolded, with the way he handled them. And yeah, it brought me here, and I've been living here, and I'm really trying just to make ends meet. I was here and I was in this room, and I thought, all right, if things go bad, I need to have like plan B and plan C. Now, I don't want to define plan C and plan B, because I know according to science, if you have more than one plan, then it's more likely that the first plan fails. So plan A is having multiple incomes, as many as I can, but one step at a time. And plan B is, if that doesn't work, I go to Spain with my mother. She's in Spain, by the way, and I make some money there and go back to Colombia and figure things out from there. So it's like plan B is like super like simple, but then plan A is like super defined. I have in my notebook some goals that I'm planning on meeting to make things work. And so yeah, that's why I don't live with my family here in USA. I don't know if that's how you say. That's it.